Hey everybody, welcome to the Ozarks Homestead and Farm. Today I wanted to talk to you about our Harvest Right Freeze Dryer Experience, Part 1. So the topics I want to cover today are discussion on how we made our decision to purchase this, the shipping, the setup, and going through the first tests on the unit. So let's get into it. So deciding to buy this Harvest Right Freeze Dryer was a big decision. This is the second largest investment for our homestead. The first was a tractor, so that gives you an idea of how expensive this unit actually was. And if we were living paycheck to paycheck, there's no way we would have been able to purchase this. But as many of you may know, we sold all of our belongings and everything in California and we moved to the Ozarks. So along with selling our house and all that, we cashed in our retirement accounts from our jobs and then we set aside some money to make this purchase. We decided to make this purchase because we knew we were going to be homesteading down here, and we already dehydrate, and primarily it was YouTube videos from other homesteaders that caught our attention with this, and watching their videos and seeing how they were happy with their purchase. It's going to add a whole new level of food storage for us. Food processed in this freeze-dried food can last up to 25 years. It maintains its nutritional value better than canning or dehydrating, which was a huge plus, and the fact that we could keep it for so long. I think I did a video to where I ate like 5 or 7-year-old canned soup, and it was pretty good, but it's not recommended, and you can get kind of ill from bad canned goods. Now, I'm not knocking it. We're still going to be canning. We're still going to eat canned food, but this just adds a whole new dimension to food storage. You all know, if you have chickens, that you get an abundance of eggs in the spring, and then how do you save them up for wintertime? You know, storing eggs can be slightly difficult or challenging or just not efficient. But hey, you got a bunch of eggs, cook them up, scramble them up, freeze dry them, 25 years later, pop it open, add some water, scrambled eggs for breakfast. This is a win-win. Not to mention all of our older hens that we're not going to eat. We can process them, freeze dry it, and we can use this for dog food, long-term dog food storage. I mean, the number of things that you can do with this freeze dryer from what I've seen are just, there's a lot. So this unit here is the large unit. Out of all the videos that we watched, one of the most common things that we seen was we wish we would have bought the big one. Now this unit comes with 5 trays. I think I'm kind of jumping ahead of myself, but it comes with the 5 tray unit. These are the trays. I can tell you offhand that when I saw these, they look a lot bigger on YouTube than they do in person. But these trays are bigger than the medium size, and there's one additional tray. So you can process a lot more food in the large unit. Okay, so let's talk about, now that we got our decision out of the way and why we purchased it. I mean, there's probably a lot of other things I didn't mention, but those are the big ones. Shipping. When we ordered this unit, they said 8 to 10 weeks on shipping. We got it in 3. So that was good. It came via FedEx. It came on a semi-truck. The delivery driver was well aware of what it was. He knew how to handle it. He was a great guy. He even said that everybody that he's delivered these to has nothing bad to say about it, and a lot of them were buying their 2nd and 3rd units. So super excited about that. When you get it, they're going to offload it. It comes with 2 boxes. This is the one, and then it has another one on top that has all the accessories in it. It weighs approximately 150 pounds, this large unit. It comes on a half-size pallet. They'll help you load it off the truck or load it off for you. Then they have to open it up, which it just has a box. Comes off real nice. You inspect it, you sign off on it, and then we put it on a dolly, wheeled it in here, and set it right here now where you see it now. It was packed excellently. You could tell right away from opening up the box that this was a well-made product from an American company. The packaging was top-notch. There was no way this thing was getting damaged in shipping. Everything was protected very well, labeled clearly. Good job, Harvest Right. Okay, now as far as setup, when you get this, it's going to come with all kinds of manuals. Well, not all kinds. Vacuum pump, owner's manual, guide to freeze drying, troubleshooting. I suggest you read through them. I did. There's a lot of great information in there. These guides and manuals are clear, concise, easy to read and understand. Now as far as setup goes, setting this up was easy. Set it on the counter. This Harvest Right freeze dryer unit right here has a panel on the back. It has an on-off switch. It has a receptacle to receive a power cord, which is right here. Okay, so this is, you have to plug it into the back of the unit, and then this will go into the wall. The oil pump has its own power cord, which plugs into the back of the freeze dryer, and then you have this vacuum line right here. The vacuum line connection is on the side. It has this cover over it, this rubber cover right here. It's on the right hand side of the unit. There's also a cover on the vacuum pump. Just remove the covers. This hose is about 2 feet, so you're either going to have to put the vacuum pump on the right side of the unit or behind the unit. It won't go on the left hand side because the line is not long enough to reach. Now for the newer model, you don't use any Teflon tape, any sealant, nothing like that. You just take them and you screw them on, hand tighten them, and that's it. There's no wrenching required. The type of fittings they are, it's really simple. So you got your power cords on, you got your vacuum hose on, then you need to add oil into your oil pump. Now it comes with oil, comes with the Harvest Right oil right here. It's very simple. You screw. Now this is the standard pump that comes with the large unit. If you get a smaller unit, you have to upgrade to this upgraded pump. The name of this one, I think it's the Pro Pump, but it's evading me at the moment. But you can go to the Harvest Right website, which I will put a link in the description of this video for you to check out all the different pumps available. We wanted this pump, even though it comes standard with the large, we wanted this pump after watching several reviews from a bunch of other YouTubers. We just thought that this was going to be the best option for us. There are a lot of good videos out there, and check them out. So to put oil in there, you just simply unscrew this. It comes off, there's a hole, you pour it in, there's a sight glass right here. You fill it up to halfway in between half and full, so 3/4 of the way full. At this point, we are ready to run through the recommended tests. Now, I'm going to take the camera and show you a few things up close so you can get a better look. And then we'll go ahead and start running through the recommended tests for this unit. Okay, this is a well-made product. I mean, this door is really thick. It's at least 1 inch thick. And like I said, we got the upgraded pump. You can see the vacuum hose here, the fittings, right? Fittings there. This right side of the unit has a power switch for the freeze dryer, and then this is where all your connections go as well. So it's just a toggle switch on and off. Now, this door needs to have a seal. I don't know if you guys can see it with the glare, but when this door is closed, you should see a thin rubber line all the way around. Let's see if I can get the right angle for you guys to see that. To where this rubber seal behind here is pressing up against the glass. When you run your unit and there's actually vacuum in there, that line is going to get bigger. But you need to make sure you see it all the way around. That's how you know that the door has a proper seal. Now this door has a latch right there. So when you turn it, this first time, it releases the pressure and then it turns to open up. Okay? This rubber gasket is removable, comes off. This is the tray holder. It also comes out. You'll notice that on the top, this is white. White needs to be facing up. See if we can't give you a look from underneath. See underneath it's orange. If you see orange, you got it in backwards. Orange should be facing down, white should be facing up. Everything I'm telling you is in the instruction manual as well. So you close your door, latches, and then it's going to pull this door in tight. Like that. Right? That's it. There's not on this side of the unit. There is. Oh, you guys can't see. All right, I'm gonna need to get a light. Stand by. Okay, on this side of the unit, there is a drain valve right there. Can you guys see that? It is supposed to be closed during operation, which it's perpendicular to the drain valve. It is closed. And you just run that down into a bucket when you're ready to drain. So you just open up that valve and drain the condensation from inside of the unit. Alright, so now that we've touched on why we made this purchase, which I'm sure we'll be talking about much more in the future, the shipping, how easy it was for the initial setup. I mean, 2 power cords, 1 vacuum line, oil in the oil pump. Now, one thing I forgot to mention, which I wasn't aware of, was this large unit requires a dedicated 20 amp circuit, meaning you need to have a plug, a receptacle plug on the wall that is connected to a 20 amp fuse with nothing else on it. Now, this plug is also running the light. So I'm hoping that it's going to work out. It's a 20 amp fuse, but if it kicks the breaker or it shuts off, then we'll just turn off the light. But for the purposes of this video and the test that we're going to run, we need some light right now. So I'm hoping that it works. It was something that I wasn't planning for, so just be aware if you're purchasing the large unit, 20 amp dedicated circuit. Alright? So we're just basically going to follow the directions in the manual to run through the testing of this unit. We've got the power cords plugged in, like I said, we've got the vacuum line on, we've got oil in the pump. This is the first time we're going to be running the pump in the freeze dryer. Alright, so like I said, it's very important to go through all this. I mean, this is pretty good stuff. I mean, we've got unpacking, general information, important safeguards, freeze dryer assembly, real simple. I mean, it's got diagrams, it shows you. I mean, when it comes to good instructions, these are them. These aren't Chinese instructions or instructions made in China. This is American stuff, and they know how to talk to you. Alright, so important information about your first batch. Freeze dryer operation. Okay, let's go through this. Freeze dryer assembly, okay. So under the freeze dryer assembly, once you get it all put together, so we're going to start at step 10. So I've already talked about the seal, which is step 9. Step 10 is make sure to close the drain valve on the freezer located on the side towards the bottom of your freeze dryer. Okay, that's closed. Ensure the acrylic door makes contact with the rubber gasket. Yes, it does, as described in the previous. It's here's blah 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 blah. Turn on the freeze dryer by pressing the on switch. O is off, I or 1 is on. I don't know if it's a I or I'm assuming it's. So let's give this bad boy some power for the first time. Oh, wowzers. Bummer. Alright. Check this out, folks. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to continue with the test. Because this plug does not. Where are we at? Can you guys see this plug? This is like a different plug. These are in the opposite direction. Can you see that? So it doesn't go into a standard. It does not go into a standard wall outlet. Bummer. Well, it looks like it's going to get its own 20 amp dedicated circuit. I'm going to have to go buy a circuit breaker, some 10 gauge wire, and a special plug for this cord. Aren't you glad you watched this video? Okay, so here we are back at the freeze dryer. I don't know if you can see here on the wall, I've got my dedicated 20 amp circuit solely for my large Harvest Right freeze dryer, which is required, that we learned in the last little segment, because it has a special little plug for the 20 amp. So I've got that all done. We are going to continue with the process, and we are going to run through the startup of this. I have not plugged it in, I have not powered it up, and I know that this has power. That's pretty much all I know about it. So here's the power cord. It plugs into the back of the unit, which I'm going to do now, and then we are going to plug it in for the first time. Cross your fingers. All right, here we go, folks. Hopefully there's no sparks and smoke. All right, it is plugged in. So let's go. All right. So we are on freeze dryer assembly. We are on number 9. Make sure the drain valve is closed. Check. Drain valve is over here. It is in the closed position. Number 11. Ensure the acrylic door is closed and we have the small little ring around there. It's my responsibility to make sure the door is closed. That's what it says in here. We're good to go with that. As described, you have responsibility. Turn on the freeze dryer by pressing the switch on. It's a toggle switch. It's in the back of the freeze dryer right where I plugged in the cord. Perform, okay, so let's go with it. Here we go, folks. Blue. Blue. Oh. There we got something. There we go. All right. Next, in order to perform a quick test and ensure that your freeze dryer is set up properly, complete the following steps. To accomplish this task, your freeze dryer chamber must be free. Yep. It needs to be completely dry. It is. Press the circle leaf logo in the upper left-hand corner. Here it is. Circle leaf logo. It looks Alright, anyways, it's upper left hand corner. Boom. It will take you to a functional testing screen. Toggle on the freeze by pressing the off on icon button. So freeze, there's freeze, heater, vacuum, and aux relay, and they're all set to off right now. So I can press the freezer one on. You should hear the refrigeration condenser turn on. Close the door and drain valve, done. Let it freeze for 30 minutes or more. Alright. Freeze. Voila! Sounds like a refrigerator. Not half bad. Okay, so we gotta let it freeze for 30 minutes or more. Oh, it's got a timer. But it's actually 4:27 in the afternoon, so we'll go till 5 o'clock. All right. Stand by, everybody. See you in 30. All right, folks. It's 2 minutes to 5, so we're almost. The timer on this says 31 minutes and 30 seconds, so we've got our 30-minute minimum. See, our tray temperature is 41 degrees Fahrenheit, so it's almost down to freezing. Room temperature 78, so it got pretty cold. All right, so next, let it freeze for 30 minutes, then toggle the vacuum tube on by pressing the on-off button. So we got a freezer toggle here, a heater toggle, then the vacuum. So we're going to go on with the vacuum. On. I do not hear the vacuum pump. You guys hear it? Does it have an on-off switch? I believe it does, but There it goes. Now it's going. So my oil level was at the max. As soon as I turned it down, it dropped to 3/4. Alright. Vacuum on. You should hear the vacuum pump wait 20 to 30 minutes. The pressure reading should decrease to 500 millitors or mTors. So when we started, we were up around 70,000. It's dropping rapidly. It's at 30,000 now. So it should get down to 500. It's got a ways to go. It also has a timer. I heard a lot of people talk about noise. So far, it's not that bad. This thing has got a little vibration going on. Like a flip something. That's closed. Yeah, we're down to half on the oil. Okay. All right, see you in another 30 minutes. Alright guys, I just wanted to take you in and give you a closer look at this. It's not quite getting to where it needs to be. You can see the screen there. Let's see. Show where the actual focus point is at. Okay, well anyways, it's 680 whatever that is. It's supposed to be at 500. It said 20 to 30 minutes. We've been at it for 30 minutes. It is still dropping. It's dropping slow. It's possible I might have a leak. The leak points are, you guys cannot see. Oh, it's the light down here. So sorry about the light. Let's see if I can. Would be that drain valve right there might be slightly cracked open. Could be the fittings here on the vacuum hose, on the vacuum, or on the there, or it could be a dirty drawer seal. Those are the three issues that they give you. So if it doesn't drop, it's already back to 678. If it doesn't get any lower than that in the next 10 minutes, I'm gonna have to stop, check everything, and redo the test. So that's where we're at right now. Okay, it's not getting any less. It's toggling between 677, 676, and 680. It's been an additional 5 minutes. We're approaching 40 minutes now, and it hasn't got to where it's supposed to be, so I'm thinking I might have to end this test. Yeah, I'm going to end the test, and we're going to start all over again. So you hit the done button, and it goes back to normal. So you can, pressing the done will automatically toggle the freeze and the vacuum to off. You can now open the drain valve. This will release the pressure and allow the door to open. Definitely hearing some, could be the refrigeration unit. So let's go ahead and open this valve and see what happens. It's definitely sucking in. And the ring around here got a lot smaller. Not quite sure. I don't know. Alright. Woo, it's cold in there. That is frozen. So, there is a little blemish on the glass right here. Sticky. It's not an indentation or a scratch. It was like stickiness. Yeah, I saw it here. So we'll clean this again. We'll clean that. I'm gonna tighten these up. These just go hand tight, and there's definitely no. Oh, it scared me. It's a little warm. Okay. Well, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna let it sit for a while before we start it again. All right, ladies and gentlemen, 500 millitors in 18 minutes and 33 seconds, just about. So I tried to test several times, and it never did reach 500. It was 630. 670 was as low as it would get. So what I did to check for leaks was I took the rubber gasket off and checked around the inside of that to see if there was damage or debris. There was not. I also took the vacuum hose off, made sure that the rubber gaskets were in there, which they were not loose. I turned it around, reattached it. I took the tray out. You can see the cord that plugs into the tray in there. I took the tray out to run the test to make sure that it wasn't interfering with the door closing properly. And most importantly, which I think did the trick, was I changed the oil. So before, when I was running it, at this point the oil level was down probably a few bars lower, and it was bubbling like that as well. Doing the oil change, I think, and maintaining that oil, the running oil level at that height, is what I think actually did the trick. So we are done with our test. It passed. So once you get below your 500, you can just hit the done button right here. You can open up your drain valve over here to release the pressure. As you can see inside, it's starting to ice up. So I'm just going to go ahead and open this and wipe it out with a towel, keep the moisture out, because we're going to go right in and start our first batch with moist bread. So stand by for that. I'm going to show you guys the resting oil level now. So with it not running, the resting oil level is pretty much at the max level. If you go with the recommendation, which is 3/4 full, about right there, which I did before, it gets really low when it's running and there's a lot of bubbles in here. I don't know if that was the cause for not reaching the proper pressure level of 500 or not. Like I said, I checked the gasket, I took the rack out, I turned the hose around, and I did the oil. One of those things corrected the problem. As to which one, I don't know. But my money is on the oil.